Welcome in, Iowa Hawkeye fans, to another episode of the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. I am Luke Myers. Everybody's here tonight, Joey, Sam, and Austin. It was just one of those weeks for Iowa fans. Football team lost in heartbreaking fashion, absolute stunner there. And then the basketball team got embarrassed in their second game of the season against DePaul. So the boys said last night they want to get to a couple rightful rants right away. So we're just going to get going here, and it's going to be Austin taking the floor.
Okay. This is kind of more of a shotgun blast version of a rightful rant. There's not one specific topic, but I'm just going to start it with this statement. Iowa basketball, what the fuck? I mean, we're in year 10 of Fran McCaffrey, and we just got embarrassed by a team that hasn't had a winning record in the Big East since the 2006-2007 season. It ended up only being like a 17-point game. It did not feel that close ever. We got down 13-0 to begin the game. It was absolutely miserable. We don't have the talent or the speed or the athleticism to keep up with mid-major conference teams. It was pathetic. I mean, and it's not going to get any better next year. The average star for our commits for next year's class on Rivals is 1.5. Every single one of Iowa's commits for next year, Iowa was their only Power 5 offer. That's the type of recruiting that is not going to get you anywhere in Big Ten basketball. So that sucks. And don't even get me started on how awful, horrible of an environment Carver Hawkeye is for basketball. It's absolute garbage. Easily bottom 50% across all levels in division, in college basketball. It's pathetic, and it doesn't have to be that way, because if you've ever been there for a wrestling meet, it's freaking electric. But the crowd for basketball games there sucks. Gary Barta clearly does not want to try and do anything to make it a better environment. And, I mean, if we're going to go totally broad here, I totally agree with Xavier Foster's decision to go to Iowa State. If I was in his shoes, why would you choose Iowa? The basketball program is not nearly as good. You'd be playing, you'd be the highest rated recruit by far and away. The environment is bad. I mean, he made a good decision for Iowa fans because we realized we're in a spot where our basketball program is looking down the shitter right now, and it sucks. So, Iowa basketball, what in the fuck?
Alrighty, thank you, Austin. And now I think Joey has a rant as well.
Yeah, mine doesn't have so much to do with the product that we're putting out there. Mine has to do with the environment in the stands. So last night I found myself mid-court, very close to the court. And I'm like, oh, these are pretty good seats. And I was just trying to enjoy the game. And turned out that would be harder to do with the people around me. So we were on the aisle, and just on the other side of the aisle, there was an older man who was just yelling at the refs the whole time. Every call, everything was the refs' fault, violently yelling at the refs. And I'm not a confrontational guy, but I was very close to saying something to him, hey, I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy the game. Would you shut up for a second? And then, even worse, there was a woman and her husband sitting behind us, and she was saying the same shit about the ref. I don't know. Do you guys think the refs were that bad last night?
They were trying to get mad at the people who are yelling when we're talking about the environment. I feel like there's other reasons to get mad.
Okay, but I'm with Joey.
Okay,
here.
you can do it in a smart way. You can. Boo when the refs are actually bad. But
always.
I am not kidding. It was nonstop the whole night. And then you pay your money, you pay your whatever to sit there. I don't care. You can do what you want, but don't ruin it for other people. Literally, I could not stand it. And then, so there was a blowout, and we had stuff to do last night, so we got up and left with 6 minutes left. And that lady's husband had the balls to say to us when we were walking out, hey guys, there's 6.5 minutes left. Oh, I wanted to say to him so badly, oh yeah, well, you know what? I can't stand sitting here and listening to your wife for another 6 minutes.
I already had to last night.
God, I was so pissed, and it just ruined those two people made the experience worse for me, and the person that was with me thought so too, and I'm sure we weren't the only two.
Yeah, I'm with Joey here. You can be a good fan, but nothing drives me more nuts than when people just boo or yell at the ref to do so. There were some calls last night. Whatever, they were 50-50. It could have gone either way, but
We played like shit. It was not the refs. And when Connor went down, Connor got hit in the head, and they called that foul, and he got that cut. The guy across the aisle was like, "See, refs, you did this. This is because of you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Kick him out of here." He's like calling for the ref to get ejected. I'm like, "You're an idiot. You are an idiot." And I know he sits there and has season tickets, and I'm sure he does it every game, and although it just drives me nuts.
Side note, it looks like somebody took a knife to Connor McCaffrey's head. Like watching
that's not Connor McCaffrey. That's Harry Potter.
Yeah, it was like ridiculous. Like they didn't even hit him that hard. It didn't look like on the slow-mo replay, but that cut was huge, way bigger.
Pretty gash.
Yeah, but no, those are booster seats, Joey. So those are I mean, if they would move their seats, student section, come on down. Gary Barr to kind of fix the atmosphere issue, but
be a lot better.
Yep. But, okay, anybody else have a rant? Anything they want to get off their chest?
Can we just keep going right into the game?
Yeah. Okay, so DePaul beat us 93-78. We were down at 23 at the half. I think our largest deficit was 26. We had over 20 turnovers in the game. Granted, DePaul shot the shit out of the basketball. They wouldn't miss a shot, but our perimeter defense wasn't great also, which has always been a knock on Fran's defense. I would like to start with this because I know a lot of people were pissed on Twitter last night during the game, and rightfully so. I was like, all right, whatever. Like, yeah, this sucks, but it's second game of the season. I went down and looked at some of the premier programs in college basketball since the beginning of the 2015-16 year. Here's teams who lost to teams they shouldn't in their non-conference early in the season, made the NCAA tournament and Final Fours and whatnot. 2016 Iowa Hawkeyes lost to Augustana, NCAA tournament. 2018 Wisconsin Badgers lost to Western Kentucky, made the NCAA tournament. 2017 Michigan State lost to Northeastern, who only had 15 wins that season in their conference and made the NCAA tournament. Purdue lost to Notre Dame last year, made it to the Final Four. Didn't make it to the Final Four, but they were Elite Eight. 2017 Virginia lost to Pitt, who only had 16 wins. They made the NCAA tournament. 2018 UNC lost to Wofford. 2017 Kansas lost to Indiana, who only had 18 wins that year. And then Villanova last year in December lost 2 games back-to-back. One to Furman and one to Penn. And they made the NCAA tournament. So the people overreacting on Twitter right now, just calm down. This is a young team.
Edston.
We saw a lot of... Joe Toussaint looked really good in the second half. C.J. Frederick looked really good. Staring down the gun barrel here, you got to call it your stars after that performance. Joe Wieskamp and Luka Garza didn't look very good. Ryan Kriener looked good, but your 2 studs didn't look good at all.
What all you said, yeah, sure, it happened in the past, but also what is like the common factor in all of those is that most of the programs that you listed are like traditional basketball powerhouses, or at least within the last decade have been very good. Iowa does not have that type of track record in basketball. Like, we don't have the type of pedigree that those other teams have where they're like, you know what, we have the better athletes, we have the better coaching, we just played some off games. Iowa doesn't have that going for them.
I gotta agree with Luke though. We can't overreact to this game because it's early in the year. These guys haven't played together, a lot of them, and like Bohannon's still figuring out if he's even gonna play. By the way, he looks like a shell of himself out there, I think.
Yeah, I don't even like that he's playing if he's gonna be used in this way.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think there's any way we can overreact to this, and for two reasons mostly. We were playing really bad defense. They were getting a lot of open shots in the first 10 minutes or so, but we tightened up after that, and they were still making everything, absolutely everything. And Wieskamp, like you said, and Garza haven't looked very good yet, and we know they'll come around. And who has looked good is C.J. Frederick has blown me away on both ends of the floor. He's getting open shots all the time, and he was like one of the only guys playing defense for the first 3 quarters of that game last night. So that's all promising stuff.
Also, I'm very disappointed with Bakari Evelyn's start so far this year, but I'm sure that'll flip a little bit.
He is a lot smaller than I thought he was. I thought he'd be taller.
Yeah. Sam, you got anything?
We suck.
Put it eloquently.
Yeah.
I'm not changing any of my predictions, except for the one that I said we'd be undefeated after we beat Texas Tech. So
We will not. We will finish. We will win 7 games in the Big Ten.
7-13.
Yep.
nah.
I don't know. Because I do think Joe Toussaint will take over at point guard. He should at least.
He's still a freshman though.
Yeah.
He's going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, but in the second half last night, he did a lot of good. He was the only person aggressive towards the hoop.
I literally played Fortnite the entire second half.
No,
Toussaint
went off, and nobody was aggressive aside from him. Frederick was splashing some shots, but Toussaint was the only guy cutting to the hoop and doing. He was playing James Harden basketball, and he was doing pretty well out there.
We forgot the star of the game, Ryan Kriener. He played his ass off last night as well. He was all over the place.
I name dropped him, but he was doing well.
Carver!
He was doing well in the first half, and
I didn't. My bad.
He was doing well in the first half, and then he got pulled. You know how Fran does that? Guy gets hot, take him out of the game.
Yeah,
that was just a typical case of that there.
Move.
What?
That's Fran's signature move.
Yeah, and I already see a lot of fire Fran banter on Twitter. Last night in the first half, I knew fans were going to be so pissed that I started going through Twitter and screenshotting everybody that's talking shit. That way, if they make the NCAA tournament, I'm going to expose so many people.
Swear to God, if you
I don't
post
think
anything I tweeted,
I don't think
when we searched our own Twitter names with naughty words. It's a cold world.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to see you get tripped up.
But does anybody else want to talk about anything in this game, or just or just get rid of this game, burn the tape, move on?
Hopefully,
burn the tapes.
What?
The fire Fran crowd sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to get better and fast because that was bad.
You're correct. It was very bad. But nobody's going to shoot 65% against us this year.
Whoa!
I will say that.
That's a bold prediction right there. I'm pretty sure somebody will probably shoot 70%.
Purdue actually booked that one outside of that game because Purdue always puts up a ton of points on us. But
oh wait, Pat McCaffrey looks scared out there.
He looks tiny.
He is.
He needs
tiny.
to bulk up big time. If I was him, I would just be lifting nonstop. They need to get him on the Doyle program.
Yeah, Doyle should take over the basketball strength program because I was watching the basketball team run through the pregame stretches. It's so funny. It's like they could put it's just so relaxed, and yeah, it should be relaxed, but you should also be actually doing something productive to benefit you when you're on the floor, which I don't think they necessarily do. But all right, so
you never played the game.
I never played the game. You guys want to talk about Twitter a little bit here?
About what?
Just about some of your where you stand on some of the fans' reactions from last night.
You just cut out so bad.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear.
Come again.
You said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said talk about the fans' reaction during the game last night because it was a shit show.
I have absolutely no issue with that at all.
Yeah, that's literally exactly the reason that Twitter exists, is for frustrated people to just spew out any take that they have at the time and project it to other people. I don't have a problem with it because it's okay to be frustrated as a fan and want to vent about it. That's what Twitter is there for, basically.
Yeah, and Austin and Sam were leading the charge last night.
Now, if you're the next day after the game and you are still losing your SHIT over college kids losing a basketball game and just flipping out on people, then you need some help.
Yeah.
In-game stuff, I'm all about that. My emotions are going to, at the end of the day, though, obviously, half the stuff people say we don't mean, except for Firefran. I'm just kidding.
But
and as long as they're not going at the players specifically, like
Yeah,
adding them.
don't look at my ads. I added Joe Wieskamp like 5 times last night. I'm totally kidding.
No, you did not.
I'm kidding. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Xavier Foster, that's another story.
All right, we're going to hit an ad from our sponsor here. We're going to go with Demer Oil, based out of Dubuque County. They got locations in Worthington, Monticello, Holy Cross. Their website's DemerOilInc.com. That's 1-800-433-3835. They got LP. They offer gas and oil as well. Call or visit their website and ask for Steve or Toby Demer. They're the guys you want to talk to. All righty. Now, next topic here is some more heartbreak on Monday that did not involve a horrible basketball game, and it was the Xavier Foster sweepstakes.
There was literally no heartbreak.
On Sam's side.
Yeah. I also fully expected him to not commit to Iowa, so it was just like, well, that sucks, and then I got over it immediately because that's what I was expecting to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of funny. I was fully expecting him to pick Iowa based on what I read on like the HR board and the lounge. It was pretty clear cut that he was going to pick Iowa, so I was watching it, and then he's like, I'd like to announce I committed to Iowa State. I was like, sorry, what?
Yeah.
What did you say, sir?
We need those boosters that sit close to the court, yell at the refs to focus more energy on recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than
you mean pay?
Yeah, paying
yes.
the kids. Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you don't think, yeah, okay, never mind.
Joey, go off, Queen.
Well, I was gonna say, if you don't think Prom has somebody paying people, you're wrong. Prom seems exactly the type.
Yeah, Prom is a dick. I'll say that. And Sam, you announced it on Twitter last night, but you said I was going to win in Hilton by 10 last week on the podcast.
Yeah. I don't know.
Saving a lot of points for it.
Yeah. I'm going to need to see some drastic changes before that happens.
Oh, one player we should talk about is Jack Nungy. Boy,
he was terrible.
Has he looked uncomfortable in those first 2 games?
Yeah, gaining all that muscle sure helps. He's slow.
Well,
yeah, his movements are really slow, it looks like. But they say he's like one of the best guys in practice.
Well, so is Josh Oglesby. If that
Can we stop hating on Josh Oglesby? He was a solid player his junior and senior year.
His senior year.
He was fine his junior year, too. Played really good defense.
He splashed some big shots his senior year. I'll give him that much. But he was kind of a disappointment. You can't dance around that fact.
Whatever.
Alrighty, so from one disappointment to the other, and I'm not talking about Joey, to my youngest brother. We're going to talk about the Iowa-Wisconsin game on Saturday. And for 2.5 quarters, we looked like absolute garbage. Offense and defense. And we were a 2-point conversion away from tying with, 2.5 minutes to play? 3 minutes maybe? So, another heartbreaking loss. I'm going to be the first one to stand up and say here, I was wrong about Jonathan Taylor. But if we hold him to 100 yards and 1 touchdown in that game, we still win the game.
I don't know what you mean by that. The point was that we weren't going to.
Yeah.
Like obviously, yeah. Oh yeah. If we hold Wisconsin to 7 points, we have a good chance to win that game. Yeah, but that's the problem. We can't.
If my aunt had a penis, she'd be my uncle.
Right.
Yeah. If I've said it before, I'll say it again.
But I don't know. It was just so disheartening because on that last drive when we needed a stop to get the ball back.
Don't even get me freaking
Phil
started.
Parker, you should have put 9 in that box. There has got to be 9 in that box. And
we were in our base cover 2 defense. Safety's back. What? With 2 freshman linebackers out there. Like, are you kidding me? Why are we not have 6 down linemen? They are going to run the ball.
And yeah, if we pack 9 or 10 guys in the box and they throw a pass and they get a first down and they beat us, fine, whatever. But at least we don't let their best player get the ball and just end the game completely.
And then the timeout after they got 7 yards on first down.
That was stupid too.
See, here's the thing. You don't call it there. Now, if you stuff them on 2nd and 3, then you call timeout. Like, if they get nothing on 2nd and 3, call timeout. But that's just
it put all your eggs in a basket after a first down play when they got 7 yards.
You only have 2 left too.
Yeah, that was.
I just don't understand how we can screw up clock management so much.
It's like one of the things that Kirk Ferentz is worst at, though. We've never been a good clock man.
It just blows my mind. It's common sense shit too. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I would like to throw this in the conversation. During the game in the first half, my uncles and some of my cousins and my brother Joey have had a conversation going on Facebook, and Joey and I were getting into each other pretty good. Who do you think was more at fault in the first half, Nate Stanley or Brian Ferentz?
Brian Ferentz.
Brian Ferentz by like a million miles.
Suck it, Joey. Joey was 110% just railing on Nate Stanley in the first half. And I'm like, what do you... Okay, yeah, he's not making some great throws, but he can only do so much with what he's got working out there. You know?
Bench Nate Stanley.
Nate was fine. I had no issues with Nate.
Are you kidding me, dude? He missed so many easy passes.
Joey, what about our inability to run the ball? We've had, 3 or 4 games in a row where we haven't crossed the 100-yard barrier, I think it was.
The only thing I have an issue with Nate was that fumble when we were driving and then they met and scored.
Really
that was a game changer.
The only play that I had a problem with from Brian Ferentz was the 2-point conversion. That was horrible.
I was totally fine with
and
that.
I loved that play call.
God-awful call because you have a slow, unathletic quarterback, and it wasn't... And it was also poor execution by Stanley. There was some... I don't know if there was designed hesitation, which if it was terrible, because what are you doing? Why would you not just give Sargent the ball?
Because we got 96 yards in the whole game, Joey.
You need 1 yard, and you're expecting 2 yards, right? You need 2 yards.
They don't see it coming. He was 6 inches from getting in, and the only reason he didn't because the umpire got his way and he had to redirect. Sargent couldn't block.
The only reason he didn't is because he's slow and unathletic and did not give it a good effort.
Joey, how many times have we seen that play this year where they just shotgun formation, a hesitation, and he takes the draw up the middle? Because I think I can remember 3 times this year, one of them against Iowa State, which ended up being a huge play. And he's 240, like 6'4" or something like that? He is a big dude.
You're not helping his case. He should have gotten in, is what you're saying. But he didn't. So there. Bad execution, bad play call.
Even though he didn't get in, it's still a good play call. Like, there's so many... When's the last time you saw us convert a 2-point conversion? It's literally probably been 10 years.
2016 season.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Is that what it is?
Yeah. We haven't converted...
The only other play I would have been fine with there was something that Tyler gets in the open field. Yeah, a pitch or something.
And you're saying you want Sargent running that ball if you're going to hand it off.
I said Sargent or Goodson.
It's got to be Young. If you're going at the goal line situation,
up and over. Why can't they go up and over? It gives you a better shot than having Stanley
up and over from
back
2.5 yards away.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen guys? I've seen guys jump 5 yards over a fucking...
Yeah, they do the up and over when they're at the goal line, like inches away. You don't do that far away. You get smashed by a linebacker like Nate Stanley did.
So, same result anyway.
Doesn't matter. I had no issue with play call.
It was horrible.
So, even though Iowa can still go 9-3, it's going to be it's considered a disappointing season. Because it's the same shit every year, because we beat the teams we're supposed to, basically, aside from last year, and then we lose to the teams we're supposed to.
Beat up on unless they beat up somebody in a bowl game pretty good. Like somebody good.
No.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I get that, with the fan base and record-wise, yeah, it would be a big difference, but, realistically, in the big picture of things, what's the difference between a 6-6 and a 9-3 season? At 9-3, none of your goals for the season are attainable. Not winning the Big Ten West, not playing for a Big Ten championship. At 3 losses, especially in the types of losses that we had, it doesn't matter what the final record is. It's a lost season at this point, because at every step of the way, it was within our ability to win all of our bad games, and it's because of our own poor execution and play calling that we didn't meet our goals. So so what? We can end up with a decent looking final record, but it doesn't mean anything because you didn't meet any of your goals anyway.
Well, if we end up 9-3, we have 3 trophy games that are ours.
I agree with Austin.
Thank you, Joey.
Like, yeah, last year's season was. It ended up being nice because we finished 9-4 and beat a decent Mississippi State team in the bowl game. But now I don't know. The only hope I have left is if we beat Minnesota. That would just make me so happy because Minnesota is not a good football team, and I'm still dying on that.
I think I'm taking that take back because
They're good.
beating Penn State was a good win for them, and it wasn't like they beat them pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't a lucky win either. I thought Minnesota was going to pull away early, but I mean Penn State's obviously a good enough team to keep that close. But that was I was dead wrong about Minnesota.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit it. Minnesota, not terrible.
I am not saying that.
I don't know if the Kinnick edge will be enough to help us to this weekend.
Here's a question. It just makes me laugh because I never thought these could be circumstances. If we beat them, do we storm the field?
No,
absolutely not. We're still ranked. Like it's not like they're coming in.
Yeah,
like,
I know we're
playoff. We're an unranked team. Absolutely not.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't storm the field, but I could totally see some college students who were drinking before the game, and you pull it off.
I will literally not let them do it.
Sample, stop, don't go down. No, yeah, that would be shameful. But God, I do not like PJ Fleck. Minnesota is still not good.
It's not a good take anymore.
It's still.
Yeah.
Hey Luke, remember when you were saying that Jonathan Taylor was also not good?
Yeah. Since
you actually said that, you said
I think he's not as good as everybody else.
But why were you saying that? What were you basing that off of?
Because I've seen some of his games, and like last year against Iowa, he got pulled. Like
It's bad take, Luke.
Hey,
it's bad take.
I said he was good earlier. Austin, quit pounding me, all right?
That's what you said.
This has probably been our most confrontational episode I think we've ever had. All right,
Joey.
we're gonna hit it.
I'd say don't. So, wait, can I get one more thing about the football game?
Yeah.
So far, the only difference between this season and all the other ones is that usually we lose a game to a team we aren't supposed to, and I think that could be Illinois this year. So,
hold up, that game was wild. I watched that whole thing from start to finish because it was right on next to the TV at the bar.
I'm sorry.
It was entertaining, and I was like watching it with Illinois fans, and they were freaking out.
Fans?
Yeah, and I was like, guys, you're still gonna lose when you come to Iowa City here in a couple weekends. So, hopefully.
Wow, it's insanely good trash talk, Luke.
Thanks. I'm not a good trash talker. I just let the results speak for themselves most of the time. So, all right, we're gonna hit an ad from our last sponsor here. Are you looking to add your logo to your new business apparel or uniform for your businesses? Contact Brian Myers at Safeguard Eastern Iowa today. Safeguard is one of the largest providers of promotional products and branded apparel in the U.S., all the top brands of clothing. Safeguard can have your logo applied using the perfect technique to make your logo stand out. Shirts, hats, jackets, uniforms, and scrubs just scratch the surface of what Safeguard can source for you. Call Brian Myers at 815-535-6840, and he'll help you find the item that's exactly what you're looking for. That's 815-535-6840. All right.
Hold on. One more thing about the game. Thanks for asking me how the trip went.
I did.
I was there. No, I'm talking about on the podcast. Our listeners probably care. Camp Randall is pretty cool. I would recommend going. Everyone was really nice, and I was surprised. That's all.
All right. Okay. How was the tailgating scene? Or weren't you up there in time to tailgate?
I heard it was crazy, like insane, better than Iowa City. I did not see that at all.
Good.
Yeah, because fuck those guys.
I might not have seen like the right area, but yeah.
Alrighty. We're going to move on to our final... Well, do we have thoughts from Space? Did Space Cowboy get back to you?
Yeah, he did write in. There is going to be a bit of a child warning.
All right,
associated with this week's.
Child warning.
Just heads up. I think Joey's is pretty raunchy as well.
I'm not reading that one.
Oh, come on.
Joey,
No balls.
if we give a forewarning, all right, we'll turn off.
One of you guys can.
That one actually probably should not be read.
If your kids are listening, just turn it off. Or if you get offended by swear words, turn it off. Austin, thoughts from space.
Cuck.
All right. Recap, Iowa DePaul. Embarrassing, and the worst part is that it was fuel for shitbag, cock-sucking Iowa State fans. Fuck them, little whiny bitches. Recap, Iowa, Wisconsin. I don't want to talk about it. My heart hurts too bad, but I'm gonna anyway. Running to the short side of the field, not being aggressive until it's too late. Use our fucking athletes, Brian. If he blows out Minnesota, then I'm convinced he just doesn't give a shit 90% of the time and saves plays to beat people he hates. Xavier Foster. Not mad about it. Didn't want him. There's a reason his offers went down, and big guys with feet injuries at his age don't typically get better. But also, not happy about the lack of recruit talent, minus Ulyss. Final thought. PJ Fleck is a fuckface dick suck who jerks off to hentai porn as he hits his dick with a spatula and FaceTimes Scott Frost and Matt Campbell. If I had to play fuck, marry, kill with those three, I would choose to kill for all. And if I had to fuck one, I would make sure I had full-blown AIDS. First to take down as many as I could. You're welcome for my service. AB comeback of the week. Who cares? We suck at everything.
Oh, gosh. Anybody got any comments on thoughts from space?
Nope.
Like I said, child
Speechless
porn.
as usual. All right,
Joey,
ready for you?
Urban Dictionary read, Joe?
Yeah. Luckily, I was unable to find much slander on Minneapolis because, as you know, Vikings Twins fan, love that place. I got one thing: Golden Gopher. To cover a height challenged person in succulent soil while they are perspiring profusely, and then urinate on them to wash them clean. If you want another one, just go on Urban Dictionary and look that up yourself. There is another pretty funny one on there. And University of Minnesota, a place where lame bitches go to school. That's all I have.
And
Straight
PJ
to the
Fleck.
point.
Alrighty. Guys, got any more comments before we wrap up here?
Yep. I'm officially CJ Frederick stan. No matter what happens from here on out, I will be standing him.
2 games in, he's locked. All right.
No, I don't got anything.
Yeah. Rocco Baldelli, AL Manager of the Year. Shout out Minnesota Twins. Rock Goat Baldelli. But guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. Go subscribe to the show on iTunes and Podbean. Just search the name there. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Our Twitter names are go_Hawks Iowa for the show. My Twitter name is Myers_Luke. Joey's is Joe Mama 2196. Austin's is Myers Austin, and Sam's is SAMMMIDD. Shout out to
You
Phil.
added too many M's there.
Did I? Well, my bad. Maybe change your name. But shout out to Feltz for rejoining the Twitter gang for the first time since September 1st. Go Hawks. We have another ticket giveaway here in this past week. The winner is?
Andrew Bookholder.
Where are you from?
Dyersville, Iowa.
Dyersville, Iowa? Did you go to Beckman?
I went to Beckman, yeah.
Man, that's a tough break for you.
Yeah.
It's a tough break for you. But, okay, so congratulations on winning the tickets.
you.
First giveaway of the basketball season for us. You know, I mean, how many games you go to a year?
I try to make like 3 or 4 a year.
Three or four a year. So, like, what do you think for the team this year? They had a really good season last year, but
It sucks losing Tyler Cook, but I think this year we bring back a lot. As in, we have Bohannon back, Hemsel. Of course, if he plays, I don't know what his situation is, but
yeah, he'll probably miss a game or two. But
I'm liking the young stars too that we have coming. I mean, I'm really excited to see how Patrick McCaffrey does this year. So.
yeah, I was here an hour and a half before the game started for the warm-ups and whatnot, and man, he's tall, but he could use a little meat on his bones.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, clearly the basketball players aren't on the same weightlifting program that the football players are.
For sure.
All right, so, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
20.
20? You go to college here?
Yep, I actually go to Kirkwood.
You go to Kirkwood?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just a short...
Yeah, about a 30-minute drive.
So who'd you bring with you to the game tonight?
I brought my girlfriend, Sydney Steffen.
She go to Kirkwood too?
No, she goes to Co.
She goes to Co.
She goes,
All right.
Yep.
Who's a player you're looking forward to watching this year?
Jordan Bohannon, senior season. I want to see how he does. I hope he can lead this team to something great.
Did you see the beard he grew over this?
I did. I'm a big fan of it.
I'm a big fan of it as well. A lot of people are critical of it, but I'm like, looks great.
I love it.
But hey, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for retweeting. Go
No
Hawks.
problem.